Bloody hell, that chant takes me back. I think the Shed used to sing it almost every match during the 70s, regardless of who we were playing. We really did hate the Leeds. Whenever we played the Leeds, it was carnage, both on the pitch and off the pitch, sometimes at the same time. I remember sitting there in the old East stand, Bovril in one hand, Wagon wheel in the other, watching it all kick off. This could happen sometimes even before the match had started. Ah yes, Bovril and Wagon wheels. I would sometimes get a bag of Butterkiss popcorn if I was lucky, but not very often. It was always Bovril and Wagon wheels. The old East stand used to have a bar stroke calf at the top of it. It used to run along the whole width of the stand. My old man used to go there always at half time and at the end of each of the matches. You used to get quite a lot of celebrities in there. I remember Marty Feldman being there once. Apparently he was a blues fan, or so my dad told me. I can't remember exactly the first time my old man took me to the bridge. It had to be the 1968-69 season. I remember we played QPR and we won 4-0. Bobby Tamblyn, Peter Osgood and Alan Birchnell scored the goals. Dave Sexton was the manager. I didn't know any of the players back then. Apart from Charlie Cook. I knew about Charlie Cook. I knew about Charlie because all my mates at school were always banging on about him, saying he was such a good player.
Now, Charlie, I was very sorry to hear you got knocked out of the cup.
Not half as sorry as I was, I can assure you.
Well, Charlie, your dribbling and ball control is right tough. Now, you started training a long time ago, didn't you, Charlie? Practicing this.
Well, it's a schoolboy habit. It's developed over the years.
And in fact, the great thing with this sort of control and practice is that you can practice by yourself. You don't have to have a team around you.
Well, it can be done any time, any place. Just a ball.
In fact, in your back garden or down at the park?
Yes.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Oh! The one I like is when it goes to the back of the neck. That's fantastic, is that? I'll tell you what, Charlie, do you think...
Brilliantly got the winning goal for Chelsea. They paid Dundee £72,000 for him, which looks a very good investment.
Osgood, Houseman, Cook, yes!
The long ball forward and Cook is onside. The referee's kept his flag down and Cook has made it number 2. The referee kept his flag down. The linesman kept his flag down as Leeds United looked at him and Cook was put through.
Falling for Hudson. Swept nicely there for Kemba. A little fortunate, he hit him on the back. Aimed again. There, a chance for Cook. And a goal! For Chelsea by Charlie Cook.
I remember seeing that, Blue Peter. God, it makes me feel old. It wasn't the fact that Charlie could just score goals, although he did that on many occasions. He was a playmaker, an all-round playmaker. And some of his passing was absolutely phenomenal. The ball he put in for Peter Osgood's famous flying header against Leeds United was spot on perfect.
Here's Hollins again. And now Osgood. Hutchinson. Cook takes it up. Osgood's got on his run. And there's the ball coming in. Osgood! A wonderful goal! A fantastic strike by Chelsea. And Osgood who started it. Hutchinson who took it on. Cook then with that lovely little chip. And there Osgood getting in behind that Leeds United defence. A beautiful header. And the man who scored in every round so far has now put Chelsea level at 1-1. A terrific strike by Chelsea with just 12 minutes of the game left. When Leeds looked to be stifling the life out of it, Harvey with no chance at all, but what a wonderful chip from Charlie Cook.
Cole Palmer reminds me of him. He's a real playmaker as well. Ah, yes. Ice Cold Palmer. What a star.
Sometimes I still hear your voice. It's telling me you'll catch my fall. So how do I feel the ground? I wear my heart, you wear a crown. Wish I wasn't late to know. Stars don't shine when there's only satellites. I feel like hell and you're in paradise. I'm so glad and yet I'm not. I was too blind to know. I fell harder than I thought when I fell for a demon.
How much do we love this lad? And how much must Pep be regretting selling him to us now? Oh, bloody hell, Pep. Anyway, back to the past for now. This channel is about my personal journey over the decades as a blue blood, which I want to share with you. Each chapter will be a mix of me remembering some of my greatest Chelsea memories from the late 60s, 70s, 90s and 2000s, etc. I'll be introducing my son Matt, and he will be talking about some of his best memories from the age of 7 when he first went to the bridge. Over future chapters I'll talk about some of my favourite players over the years. I'll also be talking about going on tour with the Blues for a lot of the games in the 1970s Cup Winners' Cup. I also, of course, will be discussing the present team and following their progress through the season. Anyway, back to Bovril and Wagon wheels. As I said, when my old man first started taking me to the bridge, I didn't really know any of the players. But it didn't take me long to suss out some of my favourites. Our squad in 68-69 was made up of the following players, and forgive me, some of them I didn't even know myself. Going from left to right, and top row to bottom, the 1968-69 Chelsea squad comprised of the following. In goal, Peter Bonetti, the Cat, goalkeeper. Tommy Hughes, reserve keeper. Marvin Hinton, defender. John Dempsey, centre-back. Ron Chopper Harris, centre-back. David Webb, centre-back. Jim Thompson, centre-back. Eddie McCready, left-back. Ken Shellito, right-back. Tommy Baldwin, midfielder. John Hollins, defensive midfield. John Boyle, midfielder. Alan Hudson, central midfield. Joe Fascioni, right midfield. Barry Lloyd, attacking midfield. Alan Birchnell, attacking midfield. Peter Houseman, left winger. Charlie Cook, right winger. Peter the Aussie Osgood, centre forward. Bobby Tamlin, centre forward. And last and not least, Ian Hutchinson, centre forward. The 68-69 squad had a lot of players in it that would go on and form what I regard as the golden squad of the early 1970s. The early 70s squad brought me some of my best childhood memories of the Blues. They also, during that time, brought us some of our best achievements up to that point. In 1970, we won the FA Cup against Leeds United, and in the following year, we went on to win the Cup Winners' Cup in a two-leg final against Real Madrid. I know that winning just a couple of cups doesn't sound much, but back then it was a big deal for us. The highest we'd ever finished in the league was third in the 1969-70 season. Yeah, times were good back then with the Blues, and we gave most teams a run for their money when they came to the bridge. Oh yeah, and of course we were loving every single minute of it. As I said, after my first game at the bridge, my old man would take me to every home game at 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. It didn't take me long to suss out who were my favourite players. Obviously Charlie was number one for a while, but then I became fascinated by the cat, Peter Bonetti. I think what fascinated me about him was one, his name, and B, some of his flying saves. Apparently he was nicknamed the cat because he always seemed to land on his feet. Well, that's what my dad told me.
That was showing off.
I tried to come away, I was going to do it now, but you weren't in there, so I came away.
Does it affect you the way it used to all those years ago? I mean, do you feel more relaxed with that?
Cleared up in the middle. A wonderful save by Bonetti.
Peters.
Much overused. In this case, though, there is no dispute. Peter Bonetti is one of Chelsea Football Club's greatest ever players. He made an astonishing 729 Chelsea appearances across almost 20 years of service for the Blues. Only Ron Harris has played more. Born just down the road in Putney, he made his debut as an 18-year-old in 1960 and kept a clean sheet, the first of 208 shutouts, a record famous and infamous FA Cup triumph of 1970, yet another first for the Blues. No coincidence.
And Bonetti.
Plenty of grey hairs later, he was the older, wiser head in a side full of promising youth team products that went on to win promotion. This was one of 13 league campaigns when he played on 30-plus occasions. Incredible consistency for a man approaching 40 years of age. His 2 decades between Chelsea's posts ended in 1979, but he was back before too long as part of the coaching staff. Eddie Niedzwiecki, his most prominent pupil. Typically, Peter continued working in the game well into his 60s before returning to the bridge to entertain fans young and old as part of the match.
I also like Ian Hutchinson because of his long throws. Oh yes, and he could score some goals as well.
And to Hollins with the free kick. Hutchinson, a goal! And Leeds players have gone flat up. But watch this as Hutchinson gets to the near post, gets right up to it, and Smaker's got no chance. A great near post goal. Ian Hutchinson. They are not happy at Palace, but Hutchinson is. And that makes it...
Hudson with a corner.
And Hutchinson! Hutchinson! Such an accurately placed corner by Hudson. And Hutchinson really got...
Presenting it to Osgood. Good running by Osgood. Side foot shot. In comes Hutchinson.
But it's the distance he could throw a ball sometimes which was absolutely stunning. This ball he threw into the box for David Webb to score on his head in the FA Cup replay against Leeds United, which won us the game, was an absolute peach.
Let's try a longer one into the Leeds box again, just to see what that might produce. It's a good long one. Not gone again towards David Webb! And Chelsea are in the lead for the long throw of Ian Hutchinson. It was touched on, and the big defender David Webb, who had such a terrible time in the first game at Wembley, has managed to bundle it past Harvey and into the net. The level flick on, up goes Webb. Whether it was a header or whether it came off his chest, he doesn't mind, and neither do the Chelsea fans. But now, for the first time, both at Wembley and at Old Trafford, Chelsea are in the lead.
But my all-time hero had to be Peter the Aussie Osgood, the king of Stamford Bridge. My next video chapter is dedicated to Aussie, but until then, here's a little taster to whet your appetite.
But recalling the goals he did score simply begs the question, how good might he have been?
Osgood.
Osgood. Baldwin, Osgood, a fine move and the second goal. Webb. Osgood. That's 2-1.
Baldwin, Osgood coming in. Almost an accident, but it's a goal. And Osgood's face says it all.
Before I sign off, I have to discuss our current squad. We drew with the Gooners 1-1 on Sunday. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see an improvement with our young squad. Now, I know Simon Jordan of Talk Sport can be a bit of a Marmite type of geezer, but I do respect his opinion on some things. This is what he said on the White and Jordan show on Monday morning this week.
The fact of the matter is this, Simon. Arsenal are without a win in 5 matches in all competitions. And it begs the question, why have they not kicked on as they were expected to do?
I think there's a change of style of play. I think they're getting found out a little bit. Without Odegaard, it's made a big difference, and that shouldn't be the only defining part of the reasons why Arsenal win the Premier League. This side, the way they're playing at this moment in time, won't win the Premier League. They're not good enough to win it. They don't seem to have the same expansive, ambitious play that they had last year. They seem to have changed and pivoted off it, and some of it, of course, will be Odegaard's. But you look at the two teams, in the game yesterday, you look at Chelsea and you look at Arsenal, and Arsenal are 5 years into a project, and the margins between the two sides were not significant. And this was a side, Chelsea, that 6 months ago were being considered to be a car crash, a disaster. A group of owners didn't know what they were doing. A manager was being ushered out the door. A guy coming in from the Championship just got off promoted side. And you look at the two sides, irrespective of what their spend patterns are over a concerted period of time, and there wasn't much difference. And one is 5 years into a project, and one is 11 games into it.
Is that because Arsenal...
I think he's right. Maresca seems to be getting a tune out of our young squad. We're becoming fearless again. That's what the 1970s squad was like. We didn't fear anyone, no matter who they were. We're now third in the Premier League. That feels good. Our next game is against Leicester on the 23rd of November. I'd like to think that we could win that one. By the end of this season, if we get into the Champions League, win the Europa Conference League, and perhaps a domestic cup, I'll be a very happy little blue bunny. Anyway, that's me for now. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And remember, we're not just a football club, we're Chelsea Football Club. We're a family. Adios for now.